Hello, everyone. You're listening to Pink, Nia, and Nicole on the Real Out Loud podcast. Join us as we discuss how to survive when we find ourselves reeling from life's difficult and sometimes unusual situations. Let's go and join our host. Hi, guys. How you doing? It's your girl, Pink, Nia. And yes, as always, I never, ever walk alone. I am with the most beautiful, courageous, educated Knick-Knack.
Yo, thank you for such
What an introduction.
What an introduction. I feel special already. I feel special. Thanks for the warm welcome, Pinky.
All right. And we have a guest in the house. Her name is Lynette, but we call her Lynn because time management. We don't have the time to say the entire name.
The whole
Lynette. Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
Hi, Nicole. Hi, Pinky. Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure.
Nicole. You see, I
Yes.
called you Nicole today.
Oh, yeah.
What are we
that's
talking
so
about?
professional, eh? Maybe we're going to be talking about a very professional, elegant kind of a topic. I don't know. Why are you being so formal, Pinky?
I don't know. These things that just come to me once in a while.
So today, guys, we're going to talk about how do you know when to stop giving people advice or when your advice is needed or not in a situation.
That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay.
How do you know?
I will start with the knowing. I will know when my advice is needed, when a person confides in me, or if they ask for my advice. They is confiding. Maybe I'm just telling you I don't need your opinion. I'm just saying it. All right. That's not when your advice is needed. It's complicated like that. So I will know when someone confides and asks, like, what do you think I should do? Or what's your take? Or I trust your opinions, or enlighten me, on this
On the
certain
situation or circumstance you're
Yes.
dealing with.
Yes.
Okay.
your advice. My advice is not needed when I'm not close to you, like directly close to you, like that. If it's a personal matter, and then maybe I hear the story through someone, then I wanna come with it like, no, I heard. You know what
No
you
way.
should do.
I almost got offended. Hey, remember, I'm a mental health professional, and strangers come to me with their issues randomly because they want my opinion, they want my help,
Your
because they feel
advice.
I'm going to be very objective in that manner. So I almost got offended when you say that when you don't know me, and I'm like,
Don't give me
Pinky,
advice.
so are you nullifying my job right here, right now?
Not like that. Whether you're paid to know, you're paid to go and talk.
Okay.
No, we're saying personal space is personal. So I will feel very offended if you just rock up in my space and act or try to feel as if you know me, or you know what I'm
when you don't.
Yes. Yes.
So that depends on the relationship you have with the person whom you want to give, or who is
feedback.
asking
Receiving,
for the advice. So it can be maybe your sister. There's no problem whether she asked or she did not ask. You give advice. It's your sister.
Guys, there are sometimes I've got siblings giving me feedback, but I don't want to hear it because I didn't ask for it. Pinky said that.
Yeah. If I don't ask for it, don't give it. That's knowing when to.
It's
So
not
when
always
you're
when,
the one who's
when the
giving.
relationship is close that
Okay.
you should give me feedback
Advice,
because
yes.
or advice. What if I don't need it? Guys, let me give you a practical example. I've got instances where, remember in other episodes, I always talk about my experience of the loss. Maybe I should do a video like recording on loss, maybe.
Insta.
Thought for another day. But I was just thinking, I normally have moments, grief. It's like a roller coaster.
Yes.
Some days are better, some days are worse for you as you transition like that in life. So there are moments when I comment on my status, I write something about my mom, and it's very emotional. But for me, I'm not doing it to provoke a reaction from people. Remember, status, it's me sharing my thoughts in that
Yes.
moment. And sometimes if I share something, it doesn't mean I'm emotional.
Yeah. I'm just
You
sharing.
understand? You don't
Yeah.
understand the tone that
Yeah.
I'm writing this message in.
Yeah.
But then you come to my inbox and you start giving me advice. Don't talk about dead people. They should rest. Or don't you think you are overdoing it? Don't you think you should move on now? Those kind of opinions and advice. How do I deal with them? Because there are people close to me, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know
But-
me and my struggles.
but you
but
don't
is that
need
advice
their train
needed
of
at that
thought.
point?
Like, I need you to look in your circle of friends. With each and every situation that you go through, there is one friend that you confide in regarding that situation. I might come and confide in you regarding mental issues, and I'll go to Lynn regarding my wardrobe, and I'll go to someone. So you always have that one person. So if you are a mental health person and then you come and say, hey, this dressing, I'll feel offended because I don't need your advice. If Lynn comes and say, Pinky, I think if you match this shoe with this one, it will go well together. I will take it. I'll receive it
Okay.
because
okay.
I know Lynn like that.
So do
in
we
that
stop
sense.
giving people advice because we feel like you don't need our advice?
No, you don't.
Some
You
people
don't stop as
need.
such. You don't stop as such. So you go to Lynn. Lynn, don't you think Pinky's dressing these
I've
days is
already
like this,
gossiped.
like this? It's not gossiping. Gossiping is then when you come back and say, I even tried to go to Lynn.
So,
and then
so Lynn, if Lynn comes to you and then she's like, Nico was saying this and that about
I will
your dressing.
appreciate it actually because you did not come
No,
to
people
me.
don't always treat it that way.
Yeah,
they treat it
I
like
don't
gossip.
think- yeah.
So, Lynn, you have to be sensitive on the way that you're gonna give
Yes,
feedback
how,
delivered
yes, you're
to
gonna say
Pinky
it.
to say, okay, I think there's something that I've noticed about you lately in terms of your dressing. I think you look more elegant or much nicer in this kind of a clothing. You give people feedback in a
Yes.
loving way, but you give them the choice to decide whether it fits with them or if they don't fit
I want to
with that
come back
advice.
to the loss. Remember when you're like, then someone comes to your inbox and what. So instead of coming to my inbox, okay, so let's say you know you're dead. So that person actually goes to your dad. Like, I've been seeing Nick statuses lately, and I don't know, maybe she's going through
she's
something.
okay.
Or yeah.
Check
Then
with
your
her.
dad comes to you like, are you okay? You know, like, is there something that you need to talk about? Or like, then you talk. You see?
Or just ask me, Nick, how are you doing?
Yes.
Are you okay? I just thought, let me check on you because I saw your status.
Maybe you're
Right.
not closely
Maybe-
related.
Yeah, we're not closely related.
I've got church people, guys, that have
Exactly.
asked me sometimes.
High school mates.
Hi, I see your status. It's very painful to lose a mom.
Are you
Are
okay?
you
Relate
okay?
with you, yeah.
Are you okay? Right? Do you want to talk about it? If I'm not okay, sometimes you find that I just needed someone to say something. The moment they say, are you okay? Then I start telling them, you know what, today I went through this and that and that. I start to open up
share,
myself. But you
yes.
gave me the choice to open up or to decide
Unlike
otherwise for
coming in
myself.
and saying,
Imposing.
Unlike coming in and saying, no, don't you think you're talking too much about your mother
yeah,
lately?
how long has it been now?
It's been
20
10 years.
And
We need to be sensitive about how we give people feedback regarding their personal spaces and their personal lives.
so we're focusing on what? On us who are receiving the advice or us who are giving the advice?
I think
Both-
it's on both ends.
both ends.
Because, come on, guys, we are Africans. Our
talk.
elders say, if you are a child, then I've got the right to give you advice.
Exactly.
You
From
see.
my womb or not.
Exactly.
Takes a village.
So now that's up to you with your personality and to say, okay, she say this, but I think I'll take this and I'll not take this. At the same time, try not to feel offended. Because some come with a genuine advice to try to help, not to try to, impose
So I
things
think
on you.
You
it's
know
all
what,
an
guys?
approach.
Let me tell you something. I know someone, nowadays we are doing social media.
Yes.
We need to be sensitive about our environments.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's social media, right? People post their lives out there.
Yes.
We are very public about a lot of things, especially our struggles, because we want to do mental health awareness.
Yes.
That's why we are even sitting here, right?
Yes.
And talking about this experience. I've got a certain individual that I know of. They had a very important story to share that would have changed a lot of lives, right?
Yes.
But because of the generation gaps and the age differences, they were talked down because of that situation where they shared something publicly. And the family was not impressed about them sharing the story publicly. They felt like they were exposing themselves and the family. It should be something that should be kept very secret. But we need to be sensitive about the environments. This person got emotionally affected. They felt like it was a personal attack. But lest they realized it's about generational gap.
Yes.
And less understanding of how social media functions on nowadays and stuff like that. So I think even our advice, it needs to be sensitive of the environment you're
The
giving it.
approach, the approach as well. You just like, if you don't know me like that, you cannot just rock up and just, you see, like you say, like a person from church, like, oh, how are you? You know, do you want to talk about it? Unlike just coming out and like, hi, I just saw your status. I don't know you like that, but I think. Then in that moment,
Or share
It
just
sent
a
the wrong
verse to
message.
say, you know what, when I saw your status, I felt pushed to share this verse that I know with
approach.
you. Don't start saying, you know, the Bible says that "Chema imunetariro," cry with faith, with hope. Share a verse. Just say, you know what, I once came across something when I was just reading a scripture, and I feel like it speaks to your situation.
Yes.
Maybe you would want to take a look at it. You share the scripture. Give me an option to deal with it,
or
look at it or not.
The approach that you use.
Tone. Guys, remember, communication comes in different forms. It's not
Yes.
only the words that I said.
Yes.
Your demeanor, your physical, your affects, your face,
yes.
you know, your tone. It speaks a lot before you even... You can want to give me positive feedback, but if your face is frowning or it's showing me that, you know, you are disgusting, then already I've got a different impression. And I'm going to
Yes.
want to defend myself more than I'm going to want to understand what
hear
you're
your
trying
advice.
to put across.
Well, you know, that's very interesting what you talked about dress code, to say, here I am, you know, growing up, you know, we've known each other growing up, and you know I don't dress this way. So then the next thing, I'm putting on this skirt which barely covers, you know, anything on my body. Would you like come to me and say, Nicole, what's going on? Or you'll say, this is wrong, this is wrong.
People come with a judgmental tone.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's wrong. Did you see her? Now she's wearing
Dressing.
mini skirts. But what if I just didn't get exposure to these things? Now I'm starting to find, oh, I've got an interest. Oh, I
Okay.
look nice in this clothing item. Maybe I want to have the exposure.
I am
you know?
comfortable in it.
Ask
Yeah.
me nicely, you know. Hey, I see. Lately, you've got a
We
different
changing
tone
wardrobe.
of
Yeah.
yes, a different tone of dressing. What's up, my friend? You know.
Yes.
And then I'll start telling you, you know what? I realized at work where I work, everyone is wearing short things. So I
So I
want to
wanna
fit
see.
in.
Yes,
Then
yes.
if you see now Nico is having a crisis here, she wants to fit in. She's starting to change herself for the wrong reasons.
Then we talk.
You come back, you talk to me in a loving and nurturing way.
Yes.
But if you come with that judgmental tone,
I
it's
tell
gonna put
you.
you in your place to say,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be telling me this and that.
Yes.
It's not your place.
Yeah.
What do you say about people at work? Let's say someone is missing work, someone just gets out randomly without saying wherever they are or logging out. They are busy with their personal life, not work. What do you say as a colleague? Do you give them advice?
I suppose that will depend on, one, your personality as a workmate, to say,
Okay.
if you are that person who loves to help,
Okay.
you can, you know, come forth to say, no, you know what, I think A, B, C, D, E. Then if they receive it, it's okay. If they don't, fine, it's okay. Now you know your boundaries to say she won't accept. And then the colleague also can be your friend at times. You know, you give each other advice all the time and everything. And then I think I would also, like, at that point, also give advice. Then someone also will be like, I'm at work, I came for money, I don't care about what anyone else does. It's just me and my work. As long as my work is fine, it's okay.
Okay, so if it is a work, then it's a teamwork, and then you are dodging work and everything.
It means if you are not there, there's a part that's
It's
lacking.
affecting, yes,
It
the
affects
teamwork.
the teamwork.
Okay.
Then I report you. I didn't come to work to baby people. Management. I cannot suffer because of you.
But you can't do that, Vicky. This is why we are talking about giving,
No.
learning when to give advice. Give
and
me
not
a
to-
hint.
This is not.
Show me
this
what I'm
is
doing
knowing
is
when
wrong.
not to give
You know,
advice.
sometimes people do the wrong things and they don't know where to draw the line. They end up overdoing it. Maybe they started once and they say, oh, people are not reacting. Let me do it over and over again
Then I report
until
you.
it becomes a habit. So give me correction first. Be like, look, my friend, you see here, work is lacking on 1, 2, 3 areas because of this and that and that. Or maybe when we do our weekly reviews, monthly reviews, write it in the review to say, you know what, sometimes colleagues are allowed to give each other personal feedback.
Yes.
Leave it somewhere and say, look, you see, I feel like you are lacking on 1, 2, 3.
People are arrogant out there, especially at work. Like Lynn said, I am here for money. They know there is nobody who
else
doesn't know that
matters.
I'm coming here for money.
No
so
snitching.
I will
Pinky,
report. This
be
is
careful.
me knowing when not to give advice.
Yes.
You know yourself. When you woke up, you knew you are putting your faith and your hope and your burden on someone that they will cover me.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, if it is at work, if I have someone that I report to, I report. I do not have time to be giving you advice. It's not my place. You know the reason why you're here. You know it. The reason why you're living. You know it. Next thing I come and try to talk to you, then you break down. What am I going to do?
Guys, I always say this. You know the story of that leper. I don't know if it was a leper. What was it?
Yes, it was.
The one who was sitting beside Bethsaida. The angel would come and stir up the waters, but they would not jump. Do you think they didn't want to jump in there?
They wanted to.
They probably wanted to jump in there, but they did not have the capacity. I always say that sometimes there are people out there who are dealing with things in their own instances. Probably a person is having stress at home or whatever.
Then you
and
ask.
they are dysfunctional at work. And then you are there, you are seeing these patterns and these behaviors spiraling into something big.
Yes.
Why not first offer a person correction, right? And then if you see this one is not helping them, then you report at a later stage. I'll give an example in my profession, right? If I see maybe this professional is not being professional, first I'd take advantage of other measures. If I see you are using substances or you are being unethical in your practice, I first do things within that small circle to kind of rectify the situation first before I escalate it. Because tomorrow you will lose your license and what's going to happen?
There's a difference of you actually coming to me and say, can you please cover for me? I need to rush somewhere. And like you just upping up
Disappear.
and going. I will not cover for you. I will cover if you come and say, please cover for me because I'm dealing with such and such and such and such.
Okay, let's
Then
leave
I'll
it to the
ask you.
flow. So, guys, you had that discussion. This one we're gonna leave it on at this level because we want you to decide, or we want you to share your ideas and your comments about how would you handle such a situation. I will pose another question to you, Lynn.
Okay.
I'll direct this one to Lynn.
All right.
I know she's big on relationships, girl. Let's say you're in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Your friend is in a relationship. You see that the partner is cheating, right? Or they're having extra marital affair.
Interesting.
Where do you draw the line to say, I'm going to give this person advice on how to handle the situation or not? Where do you draw the line? Or do you mind your own business?
Them being your friend, I think to some extent I have to, I wish what's good for them, right? To say, no, I want my friend, to be happy, be in a good and happy relationship. And then now I see you do something that I know that will disrupt you, yes, or destroy that. I think I'll come to you and approach you to say, I think A, B, C, D, it's not okay. It'll do A, B, C, D to you. What don't you think you should, not do it, or
But then
other
Lynn,
advice?
I am in a relationship.
Guys, you know what in my language they say that kwadzinorowa matumbu
Ndokwadzinomanyira.
Oh,
like
yeah.
where it hurts the most.
That's
where
where
they
a
go
person
to.
wants to hold on to where to go to,
'cause
you know.
what I'm saying, Lynn, is I
Yes.
am in a relationship, right? And then my partner is cheating. You know that my partner is cheating. I don't know.
Oh. That's a tricky one. I think I cannot go and say it directly to say, you know what, so and so is cheating on you or something.
You give hints.
But yes, you give indirect hints, you know.
Have you
also.
tried checking his
Or-
phone? Do you go through his phone?
I think
Or-
hinting is a good idea.
Yes, hinting is a good
Yeah.
idea. Or you can, you know, try to make a situation that's not there just to hear what they say.
Me, I feel like I'm a very direct person, so I don't think I'll have time for hints. I'll go to the cheating part.
I used to be like you, Pinky, eh? And I lost a very important friendship because
No,
of that.
I don't go.
distract-
I don't come to you directly and say he's
This person
cheating.
was my BF, my best friend. Like I would give a lung, but it didn't turn out so well. I think feedback is important when people are emotionally ready to receive it.
Yes.
Whether it's good feedback
Or not.
or
Or
it's
not.
bad. The receiver should be ready to hear it. If they are not,
You're wasting
things
your
are just
time.
so.
No, I don't come to. I go to the cheater himself, the partner, and say, I know what you're
What
doing.
if he goes and he
I am
runs you
going
to the
to
lady?
expose you. Run and say what?
To say your friend has the audacity. You know, there are narcissists out there.
exactly.
Your friend has the audacity
They
to
turn
approach
it
me
to
and
be
to
your
start
fault.
saying 1, 2, 3. And they start, what if they start to make your friend believe there's something wrong with Pinky? By the time that they find out that the partner is cheating, you are not even an angel in their eyes anymore. You are like a literal devil.
Yes, you know, with love, when
You know,
that happens,
narcissists
you want
do
to
that.
separate
They
people
will
from
draw
each
a
other.
person away from everyone
From
that ever
everyone,
cares away,
Yes.
cares for them, and then they believe that this person is the only one who cares for me. And then by the time they hear that you confronted their husband, they are already like, "Huh? Who do you think you are? Huh?"
So you're saying hints. You give your friend hints like on what might be
Yes.
going on.
For me, I think I would find a movie maybe which centers on that.
Okay.
Come, let's watch this together. So if they are,
When
you
you're
know,
watching and
intelligent
commenting,
enough,
Yeah, then the
you
comments.
see
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah,
if they
that's
are
right.
intelligent enough, they can try
clever
maybe to
idea.
put that maybe in their, you know, situation or life to say, okay, I saw that movie. Maybe if my wife does this or if my partner does this, maybe, you know, and then they try to be investigative bit by bit.
I have a last question, guys, and it's centered on family. Over 25. And then they come like, where's your boyfriend? When are you getting married?
Let me share my personal experience, guys. I've got
Okay.
people that have advised me when to have a baby.
Mm.
They've told me when they think it's necessary for me to have a baby and why. They've told me why and when they think it's necessary for me to be married. People will always have opinion, guys.
Yes.
We are human beings. Our minds always want to solve problems, be in the grip of situations. So even if I see you wearing the way you are wearing right now, Pink, I'll always have an opinion. Maybe these shoes will
Yes.
work better. Ne? Sometimes people feel the need to air out their opinions. Sometimes people keep their opinions to themselves, but
Yes.
it doesn't mean that they don't have. So wherever there's people, expect to receive feedback. When I are the one who makes the decision, what do you
Yes.
run with and what
And
do
what
you
don't you?
ignore? I've listened to other people, but there are certain things that I ignore because they don't apply to me. They don't bring value or change something about me. Because why? Because I know myself. I know my
Yes.
worth as a person. I know my values, my standards, and,
And
my
what you
morals,
want.
and what I want for myself. As long as this part is clear, then it means that opinions will come, advice will come,
You'll
and
know
I will
what to
receive
take.
it.
Yeah.
I'll receive it with a loving heart. But some of it, I'll just discard it in my mind. But that one
Yes.
is a silly advice. I won't necessarily verbalize it to the person.
Yes.
So you need to also be like that as a person. The reason why people get swayed so much is like when you don't have values and standards or principles that you go by. That's when everyone comes with an advice, it emotionally hurts you.
Yes.
Let people give you opinions. Let them help you with their advices, narratives, and whatnot. It's not wrong.
All right. No, this
Be
is
open-minded.
this is a very
Yes.
interesting discussion. Actually, it is. No, guys, like come through, bring your comments, your thoughts. We really, really, really love to hear your thoughts regarding this.
I like Lynn's point.
The approach,
Strategize.
yeah, the
Approach and
approach.
strategy is very important. there are many ways to bring messages across.
So I think it
So-
also take emotional and self-control. Like whatever you hear, you just don't run with it. Or like whenever you see something, then you just want to address it there and there.
Yes,
Yes.
think
Like,
about it first.
Strategize.
Before you ruin all the relationships. There's no wrong
Exactly.
in giving people truth, but sometimes the truth hurts as well.
Yeah.
You chase everyone away.
That's true.
Thank you, Nick, for bringing this up. Like, I really had a blast.
But for all of my friends, warning, ne? Warning. I'm going to give you feedback whether you,
You like
want
it
it or not.
Depends if I will listen or not.
I will give you feedback. Sometimes in my jokes, so pay attention.
Yes, ma'am.
Mina, guys, I don't. I am that type who doesn't give advice, no feedback. No, like if you dear to me, or if I see things are not going the way they're supposed to, or I feel you're losing yourself, I do come in.
There's a verse that talks, I think it's in Proverbs, if I'm not mistaken. That verse talks about it's better to give people open rebuke
Okay.
than to give secret love.
Yes.
Or to kind of like shadow the truth and not be honest with people. All right, thank you guys for listening into our episode, and we hope to hear comments in our
Likes,
inbox.
shares. We are on all platforms. Yeah. Check out the rest of our episodes on YouTube, Apple, and Google Podcast, or anywhere you get your podcasts. There, you'll find more topics that you or a friend will definitely be interested in. Thank you for listening.